Hey Snapchat, today I want to talk to you about the idea of blogging. Should you blog? And if so, how and to whom? A lot of startup founders ask me if it's worth blogging, and the answer is it depends. The first thing I need to explain to you about blogging is you need to understand why you're doing it in the first place. If you're going to blog, what you want to do is blog to your customers. And I find that a mistake some entrepreneurs make is to blog narcissistically, like to blog to your peer group or to VCs. I don't recommend that at all. The reason that I blog to entrepreneurs is fundamentally, you're my customers. So in part, I blog because it's a creative outlet, but truthfully, I blog because I want thought leadership to my customer base, which is you. Just like with Snapchat, I enjoy giving back, I enjoy giving advice, and this is the kind of thing I would do in a coffee meeting anyway, but if you're blogging to your customers, if you're having relevancy to your customers, then it's worth your time and effort. I'm always surprised when I see entrepreneurs who are blogging to other entrepreneurs. I mean, if you want to do it for your own personal needs, fine, but it's mostly a waste of time. So now let me talk about what I think you should do with a blog if you choose to have one. For me, a great example I reach back to in the past is Mint.com. Let me explain. Back in the days when Mint.com was being created, it was a personal finance product. And here's what they did with their blog. Mint.com didn't write, how do you raise money? What they did is they blogged on personal finance, advice for their end customers. The benefit of blogging to your customers is, again, the same benefit that I get for blogging to my customers, which is if you're seen as a thought leader amongst your customer base, it will help you build relationships and it'll help you get to know people you otherwise might not know. It creates inbound SEO juice that will benefit you over time if you write consistently and smartly and if you're picked up by third parties. It will make you into a thought leader in your industry. It will help you get industry speaking gigs. I recommend using a blog to actually give information, to teach people, to train people, to have thought leadership, but not as a way to simply talk about your product. Like, people don't care about that in a blog, constantly updating people with product features. That's why blogging is often called earned media. It's something that you're putting out there, that you're earning the right over time for people to engage with you. It has to be authentic, it has to be useful. And what I recommend if you decide to do it is don't expect every blog post that you write to have to be a masterpiece. You're way better off writing short posts that don't try to prove how smart you are, short posts that you do frequently. So frequency of blogging actually matters. Another idea that I have, if you personally don't want to write all the time or you don't want it to sound like a personal blog, here's an idea for you. Create a URL that's distinct from your company. Start writing, but have guest posts who also write for the site. Have it be an industry resource that many people participate in, but ultimately you control that blog. An example that I saw work really well was a company called Magento, which was an open source e-commerce vendor. They created a central hub where lots of information about e-commerce was shared. And here's the interesting thing. It became such an important independent website that it ranked really high in SEO. And here's the thing. They didn't abuse it, but ultimately that was their asset. So from time to time, they earned the right to get benefit out of that asset. It's the same thing with running conferences, but I'm going to talk about that tomorrow.